Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a whole armful of projects, small upgrades, some things I want to do to the RV, including a little light bar for the front because these headlights kind of suck, some hose and watering upgrades, USBs, LED lights, some struts for some windows, for some cabinets, and and a replacement faucet for the sink. So let's get to it. There might be a couple other upgrades I think I've got that don't require parts, but yeah, we're gonna hit them all today. There's another big upgrade that if this takes a short amount of time, we're going to knock that out, or I'll save it for another video, but that includes completely disassembling the dinette. So we'll see if I get to that. Let's pick one of these and start. Hopefully it's not too windy. We're going to start right here on this license plate light. So this backup light for the license plate, this little cover is broken off. It's also an incandescent bulb. I don't even know if it works, quite frankly, but order a new one off Amazon. It's pretty cheap, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to replace this right now. So I've already removed the license plate. Seems pretty simple. It does have a hardware kit. This hardware kit did come with bolts, so I don't have to use these made up bolts that I used. It's got these replacements in here for these things, and I'm guessing these two screws are to replace these awesome square head bits that are used all over this. Is this a deck or an RV? Because they seem to be using some very interesting hardware. Save that. Yeah. All right, I got these off. Looks like I'm going to have to pull off this light that I installed to get to these wires. I do have some of these little Wago connectors. I'm going to use these, but I did order some of the solder joint butt connectors. Those are on their way. I'll replace these and the other project I'm going to do with those once they come in. But let me get this thing apart. I don't know why these are called Wago connectors, or if they're even supposed to be called that, but I did buy these on Amazon. They're really easy. They've got these little levers, and once you pull these little levers up, basically a clamp inside there. You push it in until you feel the wire stop, and you push the clamp down. Again, same thing here. Make sure it's twisted good. Push it into the shielding touches, and then you should be able to close it. And then same here, push it in, close it, push it in, close it. There's plenty of room up in this cavity to put these Wago connectors. Maybe I'll just leave these since it's kind of a complicated thing here, but let's go inside. I'll turn on the lights real quick, come back out, and we'll see what we got. All right, money. If they weren't working before, they are now. Not that we pull a Jeep behind this thing, so it's not like you see this, but actually you probably can, but you're looking at the Jeep first, Jeep lights. I will, be responsible here. Be the cleanest spot in the RV with actual gloss left. Yeah, the gloss has been protected from the sun. So, all right. So this is pretty easy. To get back in here. Wires back. Set back in place there. I did install these lights in another video. They're pretty nice. Alright, what I also did here was instead of those old crappy rusty screws, I do have some nice self-tappers that I bought for the slide project that I'm currently working on. So I will use these instead of the old crap that was on there. Alright, well that's it. First project took about 15 minutes. I'll put the license plate on and I'll move on to the next project. Alright, again, apologize for the wind. It's windy. My next project does not require tools. It's right here at the city connection. So that, if you have whatever type of hose you have, you know that installing this, connecting it is its own thing. So what I did is bought a pack of these quick connects. And these quick connects are going to be great. Because on one end, make sure there's only one washer in there. Only one washer. So on one end. And the other end. Now I've got our quick connect. I'm going to install quick connector here. So now,
oh, that's
here's my hose. So also, before I go any further, I got to replace this hose. This is a 0G hose. They're great. This one got a hole in it, so I'm downgrading from the 50 footer to the 25 footer, which is good. So I want to go with the 25 footer. We don't need 50 feet. When this thing expands, it expands. But if you know hoses, if you've used these hoses, the contraction actually builds pressure. So when you disconnect it from the RV, even if you turn the water off, unless you run it actually for quite some time so that it can get all of the water and all the pressure out of this hose, because it's trying to contract, it's creating pressure, you're going to spray yourself. So these little valves, this one has the metal valve. I've got some more of these. This one had the plastic valve. I'm replacing all those with these. But that valve, when you turn it off, it's going to save you from getting sprayed. So now my hose has these quick connects and that quick connect. Now we are golden. We're done. That's it. Pretty sweet. I'm going to install these on the other end as well, where the filter is, things like that. But this is going to be much easier to just turn this off, disconnect it, and then when you turn this back on, it'll drain this hose. If you've got a typical hose, not as big of a deal because you're not building that pressure like I said. That's it. simple upgrade, really easy. Maybe I'll make a short on this, but yeah, these quick connects are going to be great. I'll test them out here in a little bit once I do the sink faucet on the inside. But that's this upgrade. So that's the second upgrade that we've done today. Now let's move on to the next one. I decided that I'm going to put this light bar on first before I go inside and do the interior stuff. So let me get you down to my level, show you what I'm going to do here, and then put this light on, and then run the wiring back up into the RV. Is that? Yeah, that one's dead. Run the wiring back up into the RV, and then these lights, I try not to drive at night. I'm not a nighttime driver. I mean, I am, but I don't like it with the RV. Just prefer to get to the biggest one is, unless I'm coming home and we're just going to park it in the front yard, I want to get to my campsite and have light to set up. So that is the big goal, is to get to the campsite with light, or get to wherever the heck you're going still with plenty of light to set up. So driving at night means we've miscalculated, or we are pushing through for some reason. But typically, I make sure that my time frame gets me to my site, to our site, before it's dark. But because of that, because we do drive in the dark, this light bar come in really handy to shine on the road, because these lights just aren't, they're not great. They're okay, but they're not, they're DOT spec, I'm sure, but they're not great. So I'm gonna get down here and I'm gonna install it right here, and just kind of aiming down. I'm gonna try to get the, almost like fog lights, so it'll light up the road. I don't want it to shine in anybody's eyes. I want it to shine down at the road in front of me so I can see the road. So let me get to doing that. So my plan was to put it up here, but the brackets hold it in the back, basically straight. So I'm gonna need to drill 2 holes here and here, and I've got the room. There's a fiberglass block here and about here and here, because I had to repair this grill just a minute ago. The grill's fixed, and I'll find a spot to center these holes up, and then I'll drill some holes, and I'll put these bolts in. These bolts, and they won't turn, so that's good. I don't need 9/16, so these bolts will go in, and I'll be able to put this in. I don't have a pen, but what I'm doing is bringing them in slightly so that I have room to move them in this track here. So let me drill these holes. So that mounted pretty easy. And I got into here, I found a this little foam block. I was able to push my finger kind of through there. Fed the wire in, and I actually found on the other side, I found that wire. So yeah, I was able to pretty easily feed that wire up and through. And I did find it on the inside, so that was good. And I'll show you that in a minute. So now I just need to run the fuse wires, so the red and white. I'm just gonna go right here to the battery. I have this switch installed, so I think I'm gonna go right here, and then I'm gonna install it right over here with the rest of these. So it's gonna be pretty simple, I think, to put this one on, and then I'll find a spot for this, zip tie up the last of the cable, and we'll show you kind of where I put it. But again, red to red, black to black. Bolt this up out of the way, and then route the rest of the cable. All right, now that I got you in here, I use these Wago connectors. I don't like these for this application because they'll be exposed. So I will replace these definitely with those solder, the ones that have solder built into them. They're on the way. So I have a lot more faith in this grill than probably should, but I've gone ahead and zip tied it to the edges of the grill, and then I ran it to this negative side of the battery, and so because of this, I don't want it to be hardwired to the battery, so it's always on. That's not I don't want that. So obviously this is to the positive side. We've got the fuse here. Because this couldn't go anywhere else, I just zip tied it to this wiring loom, and then zip tied it again up here, and now it goes in. So we'll go inside. I'll mount that. I'll show you where I mount the switch, and then we'll give it a test. Okay, I wanted to record that, but it was an acrobatic adventure. Anyone who's ever tried to do work down here with this seat and the steering wheel in the way, yeah, I give you mad props. I'm covered in sweat now just from bending down and trying to get this wire. So the wire comes in approximately over here. It's crossed behind the steering column, and I ran it over here, so it's right next to our lights. So I'm going to turn it on, and we're going to go out and see if it's working. Ooh, we're on. All right, it's working. One more project down. Next project is another simple project. These doors we kind of hate. So we bought these strut rods, these pneumatic hydraulic strut rods, to install here. So I've got the directions. I'm going to do a quick measurements. I'm going to install it per the manufacturer's directions, and we'll see if we can get us a good functioning strut rod to hold this thing up, because these are garbage. So let's see what we got. I'll try to get you in here once I'm all set up so we can record this. All right, well, the thing looks simple enough. This one is supposed to mount down. It says 3.5 inches if you want to go to 90 degrees. So I'm going to do that. 3.5 inches right about there. cold when it's shut. So don't judge me with my left hand. All right, let's shut it. See how, if she shuts all the way. Whoa. Oh man. Yeah. So this is perfect. This one, and I don't even remember where we got these. Maybe Lowe's, I think we got these from Lowe's. So this one holds it open. This one does a good job of holding it open. And this one keeps it shut. That is awesome. That's way better. That is awesome. All right, so I'm just gonna do the same thing over here, and you can see that. You can see that compared to this. That's gonna be great. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna do the exact same thing, but I'm probably gonna put this other one down there, just like I did over here. And then that's it. Yeah, so rinse and repeat. I'm not gonna show you that side. This is this side. So the trick here, if you have more space, this is supposed to be set in 1 inch per the diagram. Since I don't have that, I was able to use this. Also, so this didn't interfere. I put this ball joint facing this way, and this one instead of, I think, the other way around like it was. That seemed to do better, and it seems, as you saw, because I locked you in, to clear it. So yeah, one more project done, halfway done. I'll finish this, and then I've only got 2 more to do. It's already 6, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to work tonight, but let's knock this one out, and then I'll think about the bathroom sink and then those USB ports, where I've got to decide where they actually go. All right. Here's the next little project we'll get to today. So it is power and USB outlets, because this RV has a distinct lack of USB outlets. So I think I need to go and buy 1 more of these in-wall receptacles. Obviously these are great, but you know, these will run on 12 volts when we're not hooked to power. You know, most of the time we're in this RV and we're staying, we are hooked to power, running the generator, but you know, those rare times we're not, these will be able to provide 12 volt power. So I'll probably, I'll show you here in a second where I'm going to hook some of those. But this in-wall receptacle right here, this receptacle here, we actually plug in, our daughter has a fish. When we go somewhere, we have to bring the fish with us. And there's some other things that actually, I can't remember, there's something else here. The power's off of USB. So to be able to use it off the USB here, because that's just a spot, and then when the kids are sitting here, they charge their electronics when we're driving down the road. So that's a good spot to put in a USB receptacle. Obviously, when we're driving down the road, they can't use that. So I don't know if I'm going to put one of these here, but there is a good spot there for it. Also, this is the bed. When my daughter uses the bed, she charges all of her devices. We've got a plug-in thing and some other stuff because there's an outlet down here. But I think it would be really simple to tap into the power for this light and put one of those USB ports up here. So she'll get a USB port here for her bedroom. That's going to be great. That'll be really easy to do. I do have 4 of these, so obviously one there. I could easily tap into this light and put one on the side up here, so that could be that's a possibility. In this RV, it has 4. It has a charging station. This is it. Aside from up there next to the radio, where there's literally just 1, there are 4 crammed here at this charging station. So, and this is the USB wireless, or USB charger for the wireless receiver and extender for the brake controller. But here is 4 USBs there, and then we come over here, and my wife sleeps on this side of the bed, and there's an outlet way down there. So plugging in some things are actually not really easy for her. So I'm thinking about tapping into that light and then plugging it in there. And on this side, maybe doing the same thing. And then this outlet over here, I need to go, that's where I'm going to buy a new outlet, because I usually have
not just this, but another. Got another plug with a couple of extra plugs and some USBs built into it. So it'd be great to have just that whole outlet running that way. And then I've got another switch just like this. It's going to go here because this radio's always on when you turn on the 12-volt system, and it's right in my face, and I can't dim it. So I've got all that there to block the lighting, because it's so annoying. So that's a really bad spot for that. I don't know why they did it. Obviously, just because they had it there. So, but I think if I don't put my 12 volts up here, which would be easy, just as easy as putting it down here, it might keep the cords out of the way instead of dangling and coming back up. So, yeah, let me start with that one outlet, and then we'll see where we're going to put all these and install them. And I'll show you as much as I can. Let's get to it. All right, so if you've ever been inside of RV outlets before, they are terrible non-standard outlets. First, they're kind of hard to get apart. This cover goes in here, and these little tabs clip into the side here, and they're difficult to get it out. But I guess it's for speed and time and putting these things together, because these wires are just pushed into here, and they just clip in here, and that, I guess, cuts the shielding, and that's what causes a connection. So it's that I don't know. Yeah, I think at some point I'm going to want to replace all of these, but for now we'll replace it with this one, which will fit. I'm just going to have to screw it in a different way here, because it doesn't have a typical box. But the wires here to put in the other USB are available, so that's going to be good. But yeah, let me, like I said, I'm just going to pull these out, and then it looks like, yeah, you just got the white, black, and the ground, and so they're going to wire on there pretty easily. So let me do that. Okay, pardon the noise. Got the AC on now, the generator, after I've connected this one. Obviously this is live, so you want to be careful if you're not comfortable doing something like this. But obviously I connected it before. It's down to 81 in here, so it was like 83 or 84. So I was going to put this here, but there's a false bottom to this cabinet, and I would have to drill through the false bottom over to the side. I think fishing these wires it's a cleaner spot for it, but I don't think I think down here is actually a hidden spot for it. So I'm going to do the same thing that they did here, and I'm just going to go ahead, these wires are nice and long, I'm going to scribe out a square here. And what I did was I did use a test lead and my test light to ensure that these are hot, and they're hot in the ground, and they're good to go, so they're ready for us. And then I've just got the cutoff tool, and I will make a hole there. So I will do that now, and then put this in there, or else yeah, that's why it's so thick. Why do they gotta make it? All right, yeah, I'll cut a hole, and then we'll wire it. Of course, the simplest part of every project has to always turn into the hardest. Just just trying to make a hole for these. This board goes all the way. This board is over 2 inches thick. So I'm gonna go for this plywood, so I change the orientation. Yeah, every project I start hates me. This is a fact of life. If you have the same experience as me, please let me know. But yes, every project hates me. I thought this might be open, because when you reach over here, it's open here. I don't know how far. Yeah, it's stupid. So yeah, I'll keep at it. Well, here we go. You can see the blue light there, so it's working. So this one's good to go. I need a plate for this because the other plates just clip on in a stupidly weird way. So I need to get a plate for that. And I'll probably need to get a plate for the other one. But I did learn that the gray wire in this RV, the gray wire that goes to these lights, the gray wire is positive, so red, and the white wire is black. So you know, where this is a white and a black, the white is the black on the 12 volt system. So that's the deal. So yeah, there's one. Maybe I'll try to set up the camera to see this next one. But yeah, the next one, I think I've got to pop off this light here, and then also cut a hole in our panel. So maybe I'll maybe I'll actually be able to get to capture some of that process. All right, let me do that. Well, I think I can cut this thing out from the inside because this has a false panel basically, and that lets me get right to my wiring. So I've got a bundle here. So this black and red. I'm not sure where these go. I think these power black and red, I think power the awning, and then I think this pink and white power the LED strip up there. So down here is actually the wiring that I need, and I think I can cut in from here this piece. Yeah, I think that's it. So we're just going to move this out of the way. I'll get into these two wires here in a second. And we'll show you here what I'm going to do. It's a good spot. Bad, not as hard as the last one. And now I'm just going to put the switch in here, and the writing for this switch is with the actual switch down, and it comes with screws, so I'm using the provided screws here. That's it. It's pretty simple. You've got a little cover here. Cover pops on, and it's popped in there. So now let's wire it. And our light died, so I'll get a chance to charge it here in a second too. All right, hopefully this gets you in here good enough to see. So here's our wires. We got just enough here to join together, I think, with the purple ones. Purple is black. Let's start with that. These all work. Trying to preserve as much wire as possible. I've got these nifty wire strippers here. Hopefully you can see this. You can hear it's just nice. These are Hitcell. These are the fake Wago connectors, I think is what they're called. What they call them? I don't know. The blue are smaller. So Wago makes name brands of these little clip-on wires. And I bought some cheap ones from Amazon. They seem to be okay. For this, I think for this low voltage, this low 12 volts, it's gonna be good. We're gonna be fine. And we should peel this wire off. You got plenty of length here. Extra length of that one. That's it, and the light still works. So let's cut the white. Do the same. All right, well, let's see if we have success. That is not success. Oh, well, maybe I should turn it back on. That is, again, not success. These lights work. That is not working. What have we done here? Let me switch these polarities again, because that's what happened last time. What I thought was black was not black, and what I thought was red was not red. Maybe purple. White was black. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, that gave us power there. So white in the RV is black, if that makes sense. That won't work. This is not plugged in. Why are we even checking it? Alright, our light works and our charger is on, so we are good to go. Yeah, that's it. So again, even though this black wire to the light works, it is to the purple and it's hot. So the white wire, obviously to the white of the RV, is black. It's negative on this one. So alright, I'll put this thing back together. I don't even know why this has a... Oh, there it is. That's air coming down there. I think this whole thing is... What the heck? I can feel AC coming down from that hole. So this ducting is just not good. Oh, that's right. The wiring is all... The wiring gets all confused on itself, or the wiring runs within the AC ducting, and then the ducting is all that has, it's all interconnected. So I'll put this cover back on and we'll be all set. Next up, I just realized this rear AC does not work. I think that's recent, but it's not cooling. In the back here, it is not coming out cold. So front AC is working, rear AC, oh man, that's another thing. Worry about that another time. We don't use it too much because it's so dang loud in the bedroom, only on hot days. But yeah, those hot days are coming up. So I'm on this radio. It's got these little corner pieces here that just pop right out pretty easy, and then it looks like a screw on each side. And then if I can mount this switch over here, I will. And it's just a standard RV switch. I wanted to go with, you know, the standard toggle RV switch. Doesn't tell me what's up and what's down, so that's great. But I'll figure it out. And then if I can't fit it over there, I don't think I'm going to go here because this is so solid. I think I could go over here. So yeah, I just opened it up, I took it out, and there's no screws. So that's a thing. All right, I'll have to find some screws as well, but I'm going to take it apart. I'll get it fitted here first, and I'll worry about the screws at the end. But yeah, I'll take these two out, and then I'll decide where I'm going to put it again, so I can turn this stupid thing off, so I don't have to have tape covering it, because I don't know how in the world to turn this. This is bright. It's bright at night. My head is literally right here, and this glows the room. So I'll figure out what I can do. Yeah, here, you can hear it. Can you hear the AC? Trying. It's trying. Oh, maybe that's another diagnosis for another day. All right, on to this. This is how it turned out. It's off right now, so the switch is in a great spot. Those oscillating tools actually suck for plunge cuts like these, so I did have to get drill and use the drill bit a little bit, but we got it, and it's in there, and it's working just fine. So yeah, that's it. All I did was wire the I cut the red wire, and one of the wires coming off of the switch goes to one end and the other one goes the other, so we just basically broke the red wire and ran it through a switch. So that's it. That's all there was to that one. So now that's out of my eyes. Again, since I already did the other one, I'm not gonna, once I get a outlet for this one, I'm not gonna walk through replacing that one. But next is bath faucet. So it's not a whole lot different from that one, but it is hopefully different enough. This one, you can barely get your hands under it to get water. So the water comes down so close to the back of the sink that it's just an annoyance. So gonna try and switch it out. Hopefully with this doesn't turn into the project that the other ones, if the other simple stuff is turned into, and I can get this out pretty easily with just a set of pliers, I think. Yeah, here's to hoping. I'll clean this out, see what it's gonna take underneath there, and then show you what we're looking at here in a minute. All right, well, looking up in here, hopefully this looks pretty easy. I think we can just twist these lines off. We can just twist these off and then twist these off. If I need pliers to twist those off, I can, but hopefully I can do this by hand here. Let's see. Yeah. Here's the hot. Oh yeah. Yeah, so this thing is gonna come off real easy, and they'll put the new one on. So yeah, let me finish taking these hoses off. Well, that faucet was literally just as easy as you saw. These came off easy. Those hoses came off really easy by hand. I did have to get up there with the one on this side. I had to get up there with two hands. So I had to get my other hand up there, but by hand I didn't have to use pliers or anything at all. Came off really nicely, so that worked out great. This sticks out much further. I think it's going to be much better. It looks better. I mean, it's metal. This is plastic, so we've got an upgrade here. So the water's not on right now. And there's no water in the fresh tank, so I can't turn it on. But it already looks better and seems better. So yeah, that's going to be great. And with this one, you know, it's a good RV one that can be thrown away. We're not going to keep it. And then obviously this doesn't have the same. It just goes right to a P-trap. So don't need any of the other things to plug for the to plug it, because this has a manual plug for the sink, so you don't need the little lifty thingy back there on the drain. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, we did switch this guy, two of those outlets, the light on the front, the light on the back for the license plate, and yeah, that's about it, right? Couple things on the hoses. I'm gonna make a separate one on I got a new Taste Pure filter, obviously, and then the 0G hose to replace the old one we have that has a pinhole in it. But I could make a short on the little valve that you should have on these, because they create their own pressure. I may have said that in the video already, but that's what I'm talking about. The only other thing I may do, haven't decided, is putting one of each of these right underneath each of these lights. Since you've already seen me really put one in, I won't show it, but it will be really easy because it's super thin, and I can just pop this open, you know, grab the wires right here, and then you know, rewire it. So that would be pretty simple, I think, if I do that. But that's it. The next project, well, probably in the future. Can you hear it? It's making a squeaky noise. I'll get up there and see if I can fix it. See if there's something, you know, fan or something's broken. I'll take a look here maybe today, I don't know. That AC, the next couple weeks, probably get, well, I think what we'll do is buy a RecPro with the heating element and put it up here. And then like a 15,000 BTU RecPro heating element, put it up here, and then put this one back there, and then get rid of that one. That's the plan. Next thing I'm gonna work on is, so I've got a video where I install this couch, and as it comes out, it's about 2 inches too short. So I'm going to clean up all this mess. I don't need any of this wiring stuff. Some of these tools I keep out here, and I'm going to completely disassemble this dinette. And then I'm going to make it a few inches shorter. So I'm going to actually lift it up. So obviously how the ends down here go down, I'm going to shorten it so that they're up here. And I may or may not need to replace this entire side, but I'm going to look at framing out this side so that the whole thing slides out as a drawer. That'd be pretty cool. That's something I think we definitely need. So I'm gonna do that in the next video, and hopefully it yeah, I don't know if it's gonna get done today. Hopefully I can finish it tomorrow, because we need to take this RV on a trip, so next weekend. So I'm on the clock here. So here's a during shot of this dinette. This here is just the front face to that one. Just held on with a few screws. The screws in the bottom didn't even work. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to this thing. I only have a couple days to finish this, so that is a thing. I have today, it's quarter to 3 on a Sunday, and we're driving with this thing Wednesday night. So, and I've got to work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I have evenings to do this. So I don't know if I'm going to touch this side yet. I'll see how this one goes. If I can do this one quick, I'll come to this side. This one is pretty much the same, except we've got these two vents here, and then the outlet. So that would just have to be relocated. Not too hard, but again, it's all about time. So here, this is pretty easy. You know, you can see this one here. This one is better, it looks like. Against the wall, there's 3 screws holding that one in. This had 1 screw, you can see, and it just pulled right out. It wasn't barely even in there. So yeah, why that side has 3 screws and this side has 1. Yeah, RV manufacturers, good job. And then all these different screws. So obviously it's pretty easy to take out. On the bottom rail here, so along this bottom rail, there were some screws, these longer screws here. So those are intuitive, those longer screws holding it down. Then you've got these screws and these screws. They're just a different color, but they're the same. Then there's some shorter ones that go through the face here and kind of screw in the back of this to screw this face on, which I think is also glued. So they just haphazardly picked screws out of a, I don't know, they all go into a bucket in the RV manufacturing lot. I don't know. But all that to say, it's pretty easy. There's some screws along the bottom of this rail, screwing it into the ground. That was pretty easy to get on to come out. And then this whole thing, the back of this is just screwed to the back of the frame there. So I've got half the screws out. I'm going to take the others out, and really all I have to do is you know, shorten this whole thing by about 2 inches. So it shouldn't be too difficult. I think I got to get my brad nailer, and then I think I got to shorten the bottom. I'm not going to shorten we're not going to touch the cushions. I think they'll be fine. And then, yeah, we should be good to go. And then I got to figure out something for here. It's already faced. It just had that on the front. Yeah, but I don't know if I'm going to go with, like I said, back to this, because this had a cabinet drawer face on it. And I could easily cut this down and then this hump here is what hurts your leg when you sit on it. So that'll get cut down. And this just kind of fit. They just slotted the end of this plywood, and then this little trim piece just goes in there to make it look nice. So yeah, we'll see what I want to do with that. I do have some pieces of nice wood we just bought that I could biscuit together and make look nice. But I do kind of want to find out if there's something I could get, some rollers, or make a whole yeah, something, so that this so we don't have to lift up the seat when we want to get to it. We can just slide everything out. But we'll check on that. And then over here, I think I might make a false bottom, because there's actually storage here that you know, this is all down pretty low. So if I make a false bottom, we may be able to drop down a shelf in there and use some of this for storage. Okay, well, here's some progress. I've been spending a lot of time thinking about how I want this to look and what I want it to do. Mostly the you know, what I want to put here and how I want to do the bottom. I have a piece of plywood and some rollers that I can, some caster rollers that I can flip over, and it would come out. But obviously we have the bunk bed up here, and the ladder would constantly have to be moved, which is what it is, because you know, my wife is thinking leaving this open. And right now we're going to go on our trip and leave it like this to see how we like getting to it this way. The problem, a few problems. One, that ice maker is taller than this thing, so it would have to be laid on its side, I'm thinking, which is fine when it's empty. It can be laid on its side, but that ice maker is an issue here. And then the dog bed we like to put here, so it may be actually hard to get in here and get our drink. So we'll leave it like this. We'll see, and then we can change it as we see fit. But for now, here is the bottom. I cut it down. It's about 3 inches, 3.5 inches. Everything's about 3.5 inches shorter. And we'll have to find something to trim this out. But if I put a big shelf on rollers, I'm gonna have some kind of front face like this, but maybe we'll change the look of it altogether. Go with something a little bit lighter. We do have some cool lighter colored paneling that may work, so we'll have to see. Don't know yet. That's for another time. I think I'm gonna vacuum up in here, slide some of that stuff back in, and then actually put this seat back on there. And the last thing is the backing here. It is a little wrinkly here back there, but you won't see that at all because that's where the cushion goes. But what we did is, and it was kind of folded like this before on this corner. This corner was actually flaking and all chewed up. So I got the best part of it is here and here, where it's kind of the facing part. So we actually have some good leather here now, so it doesn't look all chewed up. So that's the last thing we did. And again, this is what it looks like. Only the front of the frame I had to fix. This is the part I cut off. So, and then the old one the pieces just fell apart. So they just fell apart. So we'll see what we do for the rest of this. But yeah, let me slide this in and save this side for, I guess, next weekend or the weekend after. Here's another quick look. I did put some casters there. Here's some extra casters I had just laying around. And then I built this base. Hopefully you can see it well here. Here's the base. Just a piece of plywood I had. Some casters. But the other casters I put on the back. Because I was thinking, well, how is this thing gonna go if the casters... I didn't want it to fall down and then get on the other caster, so oh, that's nice. Yeah. So the only problem is the casters are freewheeling, but otherwise this thing is pretty decent. Yeah, that's awesome. And then I think, yeah, I think what I'll do is, I've got some small pieces here. I'm gonna put should I put it there? I think I might put it here and along this side, to keep, or at least maybe in the middle, to keep it so it's not walking around on us, because it's walking side to side. I can keep it on one side, it's going to be better. And then I think if I put a little piece, maybe a small section of 1x there in the middle, screwed in from that centerpiece, it'll keep it from tipping. I think I could do that pretty easily. Yeah, so I'll do that real quick, and then this will be done. But yeah, that's it. All right, now quick solution to making it hold. I built this little frame. So this is just this is a longer piece of 1x that was ripped down some time ago. And then this is just a little leg, another piece of it. I countersunk the hole there, put it in there so these drywall screws would go in, and then 2 drywall screws here on the top of this small piece. And all it's gonna do is go here, and I will I'll drill it over here, and I'll put a hole in over here, and I'll just screw it into this and screw it into that one, and it will prevent this thing from tipping. As it pulls out, it won't tip. She won't tip when she's got weight on it. It'll stop on that stopper. So yeah, simple solution for a simple thing. And also this piece here will keep the whole thing aligned. So that's cool as well. It'll keep the whole carriage, the whole drawer aligned. Hopefully, a few of these little upgrades were interesting enough to make a video, and a video you watch and learn and have some ideas of your own. But yeah, a lot of work to the RV. I don't know if I mentioned in this video or the other one, because I started this other work about 2 weeks ago. You know, we wanted to trade this RV in, but apparently we're about 20 grand underwater, so we would have to come up with that extra $20,000 on the trade-in to cover what we owe on this RV to get a new one, and that new one is going to be an $80,000 RV. So our loan, so we got to come up with 20 grand, and then our loan is going to be 20,000 more. So it's a $40,000 loss to buy a new RV. So we decided we're just going to put some money into this one. Not a whole lot, obviously, because I'm doing it myself, so we can save some cash. But we're just going to keep this one along until we pay it off or win the lottery. But yeah, that's what we're going to try to do. The one we wanted was the one with the extra bathroom in the back and washer dryer. So we'll find out one day what I do with that. But until then, it's just a lot of work on this one. One super future thing, if we do move and live longer in this RV, my wife and I said, hey, when a couple years when I'm retired for good and my son's out of school, we may drive around and live in this thing for a year. It'd be interesting. I know there's cold water under there, and then there's hot water over here. Actually making putting a washer dryer combo underneath on that bunk, it would fit, I think. So that's a thought and something for future me to think about. But yeah, all these little things, a few more things to do, and hopefully you guys liked it. So like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.